What is up, Insaners, and welcome to another video of the Fantasy Premier League 2022-23 season. In this one, guys, we're gonna break down some key dilemmas before the Game Week 25 deadline. So if you liked the video today, make sure to hit the like button. Also subscribe to the Insanely Football for more such FPL videos. And with that, let's start today's video. I will start with the first question for this week. Should we play our free hit this week? Now I think this is one question that has crossed a lot of FPL managers' mind this week. Now with Brighton, Brentford, Newcastle and Man United, they are all blanking this week. I think a lot of managers have thought about using the free hit, but I think straight off, if you can just field about 8 to 10 players, even by taking -4 or even a -8, I think there is merit in saving the free hits of this week. I think the idea is to maximize the potential of your playing 11 by targeting players from the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool. I think that is really important, and I feel if you follow this strategy, it will help you minimize any losses that you can have this week. I think that is pretty much playing safe here. Now we also got news about Game Week 29 being a huge double game week, and on top of that, we already know that Game Week 28 is a blank game week for some teams. So I think using the free hit in either of these 2 weeks looks a lot more logical. As an exercise, you can always just make a possible free hit team for Game Week 25 and you can compare it with your current team, especially when you make these transfers or make your updated transfers. Now if you feel that the difference is enormous and you're possibly going to gain a lot of FPL points this week, then maybe take a call and go for it. Otherwise, I think there is merit in saving the free hit for now and using it in either 28 or 29. Now let's move on to the second dilemma for this week. Is it okay to take multiple hits for Game Week 25? Now I think generally, guys, FPL managers are wary of taking hits, and I've seen a lot of managers not being comfortable about hits. They feel it's not justified, they feel it's not worth it. But I think double game week, it gives us an opportunity to basically be a little bit more aggressive and then try to maximize the potential for FPL points. And Game Week 25 is a similar game week, guys, where we can get players from Liverpool and we can chase those possible hauls from players like Salah, Nunes, Trent, etc. So I think there's a potential for a lot of FPL points here and we can maximize that potential. Now it's worth taking a hit if you are especially trying to get in a player like Salah. I think the Liverpool attacker has excellent potential this week. Now he's also shown some signs of improvement in recent games. I feel he's the only Liverpool attacker that is expected to play close to 90 minutes across both games. And I think that is really important. And plus, the biggest fact of the game week, guys, I think he represents great captaincy potential. So if you are trying to play him as a captain player, if you are trying to get him in and play him as your captain, I think he's a great option and I think a hit is justified here. Now the situation gets a bit tricky if you are going for players like Trent, Nunes or even Gakpo. I think Liverpool's defense is quite leaky at the moment, and yes, they have kept a couple of clean sheets in the last couple of games, but I think there's always a chance that they can concede goals. And when you are looking at Liverpool defenders, especially the likes of Trent and Robertson, I think the idea or the understanding is that they will be giving you some attacking returns, or at least they will possess some attacking threat. I think that is the reason you will possibly go for a Liverpool option here. I think taking a hit, especially if you want to remove a player like Shaw, is absolutely fine. And you can do that this week. It is a logical move. And I think, again, like a Salah, for example, guys, there is a lot of points to be had here. We can actually benefit from the likes of Trent and Robertson, as there are good couple of fixtures. They can get attacking returns and we might just get lucky and get a clean sheet. So I think it's okay to take a hit for a player like Trent. And I think a similar case is also there for somebody like a Nunes. I think a lot of people are contemplating whether to downgrade a Kane to a Nunes or maybe upgrade a Mitrovic to a Nunes. I think in both scenarios, the hit is justified. Mitrovic may not play, may not feature in Game Week 25, and then there is Kane. Yes, he's going to take along well. He's going to be a safe option for you. But in case if you are trying to chase points, in case if you are trying to chase rank, I think in that scenario, Darwin Nunes is a great option. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of taking hits for players and options from Everton and Wolves. Yes, there is Tarkowski. There's also a couple of cheap Wolves defender that we can go for. But unless you're really trying to, gain some money or get in some funds for the likes of Nunes, for the likes of Salah, Trent, etc., I don't really like the idea of taking a hit for an Everton or Wolves option. But yeah, if I'm going for a Liverpool player, if you are targeting Liverpool option, I think a hit is justified in that case. Now let's talk about the next dilemma, which Liverpool players to get for Game Week 25. So in case if you are trying to play safe, if you do not want to take a lot of chances, a lot of risk, I think getting in Mo Salah and captaining him is the safest thing that you can do. As I said earlier in the video, I think he's in great form. There's a lot of potential. He's also shown us some improvement in terms of getting goals, getting the underlying stats up there as well. And I think Mo Salah is a pretty much safe option. Now, the other options are pretty much dependent on how much do you want to dip yourself into the Liverpool team, whether you're committing to a specific strategy, whether you're trying to keep the strategy very open, or whether you just want to go aggressive or go a bit safer and just not take a lot of chances. So in that scenario, you can go for Nunes. I still prefer Nunes over a Trent because of the high attacking upside. Yes, Trent can also get an attacking return, but because of the fact that Liverpool's defense is quite leaky and I'm not very confident of Liverpool getting 2 clean sheets, in that scenario, guys, I think Darwin Núñez is a better option. But yeah, as a combination, as a triple up, if you are looking at a Liverpool triple up, I think Mo Salah, Darwin Núñez and Trent are the options to go for. I would only look at players like a Robertson in case if I cannot reach a Trent because of some budget constraints. I would not look at options like Van Dijk or even Gomez, who are slightly cheaper options, but I don't think so it's worth going for them because they don't really represent any attacking threat like the Liverpool fullback. So I think these are the options to go for. I would also not look at Gakpo because I think there are better options and better alternatives available from the Arsenal team. I mean, you can go for the likes of Odegaard, Saka as a couple of options in midfield. And I think Gakpo, yes, there is a slight risk in terms of his minutes as well. And I generally prefer going for a Darwin Núñez because of the structure that Darwin Núñez also allows for my own team. So I think it really depends on you and what kind of players you are thinking and you feel are safe from the Liverpool team, but I think that's the trio I'll go for. I'll go for Salah, Darwin and Trent. Now let's move to the next dilemma, what to do with Man United players. Now, in case if you have players like Shaw and Fernandes, you can easily sell them. You can basically upgrade a Shaw to a Trent if you have some additional money, or in case if you want to save some money and maybe get some additional funds to fund a different player, then in that scenario you can downgrade a Shaw to a Tarkowski. I think those are two outlets that I look at, especially when I'm talking about Luke Shaw. Now coming to Bruno Fernandes, and I think again, like Luke Shaw, there are a couple of alternatives, couple of directions that you can take with Fernandes. Now you can upgrade a Bruno Fernandes to a Mo Salah. I think with some additional money, you can absolutely do that move. Now in a different scenario, you can also downgrade a Fernandes to a different option. Let's say if you maybe want to somehow go for an Everton option, go for a Wolves option, especially in midfield, I think there are two options or there are two directions that you can look at. So Bruno Fernandes for me is also a sell, and I think you can easily sell him for one of the double game week players for game week 25. Now the situation gets a bit tricky when we talk about Rashford because I think Rashford is a perfectly fine hold. I think he's been in great form, he's been scoring a lot of goals, and I think he'll continue to do that for Man United. Now Man United's fixtures in game week 26 and 27 are also absolutely fine, and you can easily hold Rashford. He's at that kind of a price point where you don't necessarily have to sell him. You can easily bench him this week, and even if you play with 10 players, 9 players, I think that's absolutely fine for game week 25. I don't think so it's much of an issue, and I'd rather sell Shaw and Fernandes because there are clear replacements available there. Now let's move on to the last dilemma, the final dilemma for game week 25. Who are the best forwards to get in your FPL team right now? Now I think the assumption here is that we are talking about the other two forward spots, considering that all of us or most of us at least have Erling Haaland as one of the options from Man City, one of the strikers from Man City. Now we have Liverpool and Arsenal who have a double game week and both have a forward that we can target. Now if you want the Arsenal forward, you can go for Nketiah. I know he's missed a lot of chances, but his numbers, his underlying stats have looked really good, really excellent, and I think he's been a bit unlucky. I generally feel that he can get a couple of hauls and a good return this week, especially because of the double game week and some decent fixtures. I think it's a decent option to go for, a great option to buy as well this week in case if you are looking at a forward option, and I'll possibly rate him over Darwin Núñez because I think Arsenal are much more functional, much more better looking attack at the moment, and I think Nketiah could do really well. Now in case if you already have Nketiah, in case if you're looking at a second option, I think Darwin Núñez is a great pick. I would also kind of go as far as saying that you can easily downgrade a Harry Kane and get in Núñez because Núñez has a couple of games. I generally feel that Núñez has also been a bit unlucky. Part of it can be because of poor finishing, part of it can also be because of luck, etc. But I generally feel that Núñez can do really well this week. Now there are conversations, there are rumors that he might get limited minutes and he might not play, maybe close to about 150 minutes or so, but I don't think so that's going to be a huge issue. I'm not seeing Liverpool passing into the next round for the Champions League, and I think because of their exit, because of the focus now primarily being on the Premier League, I think Darwin Núñez is going to get a lot of minutes. So I think he's also a great option. Now in case if you are not convinced with Núñez, maybe you don't want to take a risk with a Liverpool option and you want a player, you want a particular pick who has a fixture in game week 25 who's also playing in game week 28, you can go for the likes of Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa. I think he's been in great form. He's not been talked about a lot because of the fact that Nketiah and Darwin Núñez, they have a double game week, and I think he's a great differential. Watkins is a great pick, a great differential for this week. He gives you 2 fixtures and he's been in great form. He's been scoring goals, and I think he's definitely a player that is going under the radar right now. So I think these are the forwards that I look at. If I have Mitrovic in my team, which I do, I think I will try to move him on to a Darwin Núñez because of the fact that he may not play, and I'll personally be down to about 9 players, which is not ideal even for Game Week 25. So I think these are the forwards to go for, these are the options to consider, especially when we're looking at Game Week 25 in particular. So that'll be all from my side for this video. I hope you found this video helpful and useful, guys. If you did, smash that like button. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers, guys. Your love, as always, is very much appreciated. And thank you so much for all the support and all the love that you've shown me over the past couple of weeks. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.